come on in this way. Time to work on this dress today. And remember, this is your back?
Yeah.
Because you wrote that, right?
Yeah.
So you want to lay one out there, and then you want to lay out your front. I met Raina at Sask Fashion Week this year, and she was a young girl who went on a Thursday night and was so inspired that she went home and she made her own dress. And she's taken sewing lessons from a woman here named Celeste Pinder, who runs a class called Sister Cece's. And she was so inspired that she went home, made her dress, and they tweeted Mr. Fabulous, the host of Sask Fashion Week, and let him know that she had done this. And he got her up on stage and introduced her to the all of Regina at the event. And it was the most sweetest, brilliant thing ever to have something like that happen to a young lady. So after the show, she came back to say hello. And I was so inspired by her that I had asked her, would you come spend the summer working here and learning the trade and to see if you really like it.
And I said, yes. Hi! If you saw the last video, that was my first day being with Dean Renwick, and today was my second day, and it was amazing too. We basically sketched all day. This is my little sister Hannah's. She loves babies, like she loves babies so much, her babies have babies, literally. And this is a babysitting dress that I made for her, because I know she'd like it. And then I made my other sister a Batman dress, because she's just crazy about Batman. Batman! Look at the Batman. Look at the Batman symbol. I wanted to be a fashion designer ever since I was little, yeah.
Raina started designing, I want to say like she's always has. I remember her as a toddler scribbling out pictures of dresses and stuff. Like she would draw clothes before she could even really draw people. The other day I was going through some of her keepsake stuff and we found a drawing that she had done when she was 4, and it was a picture of sort of a onesie for her baby sister, and it had love sort of written on and then it had short little legs and short sleeves and all this kind of stuff. So she's always sort of been thinking about clothing.
I guess I just make up my own ideas. I mean, if I see something in the store or if I see something that I like, it can be basically anything, then I just kind of sketch it out and then, yeah.
Raina's designs are very fancy. She has a great interest in formal wear and, you know, fancy dresses.
Big, like really poofy and really fancy dresses, like the fanciest dresses ever.
She thinks of the details and she thinks of the fabric, and it's really interesting to see her thought process.
Pink is my absolute favorite color.
For a while last year, she was drawing a different dress every day, and she would come up with a theme for the inspiration. So if it was a rainy day, she would do a rainy day outfit, or if it was a rider game, she would do a rider outfit.
I draw my own designs, and then I kind of figure them out, and I find a pattern, and then I make them. Remember that fabric that I showed you? And I don't know if I told you this, but I'm gonna make a shirt out of it, and I finished it today. Warning, awesome shirt. Yes, 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 woohoo, yes! And this is an awesome shirt, and it was just, yes! It was the best shirt I've ever made in my life, okay? And I've made some shirts.
I had not met Dean before this. I had heard of Dean. He's a well-known designer in the city and in the country, and I had heard of his work and of course seen his shows at Fashion Week and stuff like this. Very talented designer. Hadn't met him before. And
Brilliant. God, I started sewing when I was 8 years old. About 8, 9 years old, I started just making Barbie doll clothes. My mother and my grandmother taught me little things. I remember growing up at the foot of my grandmother's old treadle machine, the one that you use with your foot, goes up and down, up and down. And so we were used to having sewing in the house, and so my mom and my grandma were able to show me things. The only problem was I'm left-handed, and that would frustrate my grandmother at times. So I grew up on Glamour and the Sonny and Cher show in Old Hollywood, and so the first thing I wanted to do was be in Hollywood. Plus, you get away from winters. So I moved to Hollywood to go to school, and I went to FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, which is a very prestigious school in Los Angeles. I was there for 15 years, and I worked in the industry from high-end to budget, where, you know, it's pennies per garment, to where one high-end place I worked at, our pants were like $3,000. So I really learned a lot, and I worked with many, many different companies. The one that taught me the most was Azar Woods, which is a high-end couture company, and that's who I worked with and learned a lot with. When I was at Azar Woods, I worked with Bette Midler and Kiefer Sutherland. I worked with the Eurythmics back in '86 doing some work through a friend. It's funny, actually, I've met more stars here in Regina because of the movie industry than I did in LA. So 1997, I came back to Regina. I discovered that there was a whole new industry here in Regina that I'd never thought of, which was the movie industry. And so I find it very ironic that I left Hollywood for Regina and ended up working in the movie industry. And then I had the opportunity to open my own business and my own studio and go back into fashion. So I did that 11 years ago now.
Let's give a round of applause for Regina, the Renwick! Amazing.
What an amazing person. I mean, we came in to talk with him, and I thought, well, Raina, you know, maybe you'll get to come and tour the studio and talk to him for a little bit, or maybe you can shadow him for a day and this kind of thing. And he sort of sat down and said, okay, Raina, I think you should come twice a week for the whole summer. And our jaws dropped and we were floored. Like, just the amount of investment and heart and time that he's put into this kid is really, it's just amazing. Like, that there's still people out there like that. He's just been so supportive, and it's really amazing.
I think he's an awesome person.
Let's go take it back and we'll finish the rest of it, okay?
She has been loving every minute of it. I mean, she's 8, like she's a kid. She will get bored and stuff like that, but she really, I mean, she loves it that much that she could just sit in the studio and just be, you know, in bliss kind of thing.
There's times where she is working really hard, and then all of a sudden she kind of walks away and just kind of wanders around. But then I realize, oh my God, sometimes I need to do that too. Walk away and just enjoy something else for a little bit, and then come back to it.
I got some free fabric from Lena Wu, a seamstress. I got 2 huge garbage bags. So, she cut off this big, long emerald green train from a grad dress, and she gave me the train. It could be a dress for me.
Having Raina being so dedicated is really nice. She's sort of found something that she can get really excited about and that she can get really involved in. She's thinking about the future already. She wants to go to fashion school and
be an actual fashion designer and do all the stuff the fashion designers do.
Raina has full access to me for mentoring from now on. This year it was really nice to be able to spend the time with her. It's been a really good thing to have a young lady around the studio, have a different eye at fashion, and actually see a lot of pink in my studio, because that's her favorite color, so. Yeah, that's about it. I think it's been a great, great, great summer for both of us.
Thank you so much. This was the best summer of my life. Goodbye, thank you. You've been a lovely audience. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That was a joke, by the way. Okay, bye-bye.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sasktel.com. maxTV programming is now available on maxTV on the go at maxtvonthego.sasktel.com.